This video is meant to give you a quick refresher on search techniques you can use when searching databases you have access to as a Concordia student. Some of what I'm about to touch on may be a review for a lot of you, so bear with me for the moment or skip ahead in the video if you'd like. When it comes to keyword searching in databases, you can use words like and or to improve your results. You should use and to combine the key concepts of your research topic. Let's say, for example, you're interested in finding resources that deal with how lead is metabolized by the liver. You can use the word and to combine those keywords in your search string. So lead and metabolism and liver. Reason being, if there is a subset of articles in a database that deal with lead, another subset of articles in a database that deal with metabolism, and a third set of articles in a database that deal with the liver, if we only want that subset of articles that deal with all three of those concepts, then we need to use the word and to help narrow our results down to just that subset. Or is used a bit differently. It's used to combine synonyms or related terms. The idea here being that one researcher, or the terms that one researcher uses to describe a concept, may not be the same terms used by another researcher, even though they mean something similar. So if there's a set of articles in a database where researchers have used the term high blood pressure, and there's a set of articles in a database where researchers have studied the same thing, but are looking at have used the term hypertension, if we don't care what they've called it, we can use the word or to combine those search terms, those synonyms or related terms, to get that entire set of results. A few other common search operators. You're going to use quotation marks to search for an exact phrase. So if you want to search for transcription factor as a phrase, not just have the database search for the word factor or just the word transcription alone, if you want it to search exactly like that as a phrase, put it in quotation marks. And you can use an asterisk to search for alternate endings. So if you use a root word, so in this case, if we search PERMEA with an asterisk at the end, database is automatically going to search for alternate endings there. So it'll search for words like permeability, permeate, permeable. Let's head into a database. We'll use PubMed so we can explore some of its advanced search features. You can access databases from the library's main page, library.concordia.ca. If you scroll down, there's the databases by subject option. You can select it, scroll down, and you can search for PubMed here. So I'm going to search for PubMed, and the PubMed we're interested in here is PubMed in brackets Medline. You can actually access the PubMed by searching for it in Google, but it's best to go through the library's website so that it will have links to library subscribed content. You won't get those links if you access PubMed without going through the library's website. So once we access PubMed by clicking here, it may ask you to put in your NetName and password at this point in order to access it. This is PubMed's main screen. And from here, we can run a search using ands and ors, like a lot of other databases. So in this case, I'm going to run a search that combines my key concepts using the word and then I've combined my synonyms or related terms using the word or. I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the filters that you can apply on the left-hand side in order to really narrow down your search results. These include things like document type or publication date, etc. One of PubMed's features that can be helpful to use when searching is its mesh terms or medical subject headings. Every time an article is indexed in PubMed, it is essentially tagged with these medical subject headings that indicate what the article is about. So if you go to PubMed's main page and scroll down, you can see this mesh database. And again, mesh stands for medical subject headings. If we go back to our search results from that first keyword search and go into the full record for one of these items, you can scroll down, and at the bottom, you can see these mesh terms. So this is what I'm referring to. So these are controlled vocabulary terms, which means that they are a set of words that will be used to describe a concept, even though that concept may go by other names or phrases. So as an example, we'll go back to that mesh. And let's find out what mesh term is used to tag articles that deal with high blood pressure. So we find that hypertension is the word used in PubMed to tag any article that deals with this subject. You can click on it and get a definition, as well as a list of the terms that it's used for. So whether the author of an article uses the word high blood pressure or hypertension is irrelevant. The indexers will tag any article on this topic with this mesh term of hypertension. This means that if we search using that mesh term, we don't have to worry about coming up with those other synonyms. So we can search by adding this term to the search builder, and you'll see it's searching hypertension as a mesh term. Let's say we're interested in the relationship between salt and hypertension. Let's determine what the mesh term is for salt. You'll see here that the mesh term for salt is sodium chloride. And again, if we want to search by that mesh term, we can add it to our search builder. We can decide whether we're searching using and or. In this case, it's going to be a key concept. So we're going to add it to our search builder using the word and then we're going to search PubMed. So PubMed is a pretty great search tool because if you choose not to search by mesh terms and you just run keyword searches instead, PubMed will search for mesh terms for you. It's always a good idea, however, to look at the mesh terms that the database has come up with. So I'm going to go back to my original keyword search. And I'm going to select advanced under the search box here. If I scroll down, I can see my search history for this session. If I click on the arrow beside my original keyword search, I'll be able to see what mesh term it's pulled out for each of my original key concepts. So for pore-forming toxins, I'll see that it's pulled out toxins biological as the mesh term. And then for E. coli, it's pulled out Escherichia coli as its mesh term. I want to be 100% sure that this is the correct mesh term for my original keyword search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that mesh database and search for it to find out what the definition is. So if I read the definition and decide that it's not exactly what I meant by my original keyword search, I can do some searching on my own in that mesh database to try and find a better mesh term. Sometimes it means just searching by a few words of your key concept and just seeing what the mesh database comes up with. So I was looking at pore-forming toxins. I'm just going to search mesh for pore-forming. And I'll see that it comes up with a variety of options. But this first one here, if I click on it and read the definition, may be more relevant for my original keyword than the one decided on for me. And if that's the case, I can add this one to the search builder I can search mesh for E. coli to get the correct mesh term for that, and then search PubMed. To actually access these articles, you're going to be clicking on the title of an article that you're interested in. That'll take you to the article's full record, again, where you can find those mesh terms further down. And then on the right-hand side, there's usually some full text links. Likely you're going to be selecting Find It at Concordia. What that's going to do is going to search our holdings to see if we have access to this item online. If you get that View Full Text link, you can just click on one of these links and it'll take you to an article. You can access the PDF. If there aren't any options to view the full text, what you would do is you would go down and you would check for print holdings to see if we have access to that document in the library in a print version. Another thing to keep in mind is that there is a lag between the time when an article is submitted to PubMed and the point at which they've been indexed with these mesh terms, so the point at which they've been assigned these mesh terms. So if you only search using mesh terms, you may miss some of the more recent articles that haven't yet been assigned those mesh terms, even if they, relate to the topic at hand. So the way around this is to OR in your keywords as well. So you're doing a combination of searching with those mesh terms as well as those keywords, just to make sure you're not missing any articles that haven't yet been indexed with those mesh terms. Just ORing in our keywords. And then running that search. You'll note that when we run the search, our result set increases in number quite significantly. And this makes sense because not only have we added in OR terms, we're now no longer just searching the mesh part of each record. We're instead retrieving additional results where the keywords are found in any of the article's fields, not just its mesh field. If you need any further assistance, remember that there is a chemistry and biochemistry subject guide accessible via the library's main page under Help and How To and Subject and Course Guides. Scroll down to Science, you'll find it there. This also provides you with my contact information, my email address, in order to get in touch if you need some further assistance. As well, don't forget that from the library's main page, there's also the chat option. And this allows you to chat with a librarian. Just enter your name, your email address, and your question, and start your chat. And then a librarian will be there to assist you.